Hello, everybody. My name's Steve Allen. Most of you know me, and I own and operate Dharma Way Dojo and Self-Defense Solutions right here in Christchurch, New Zealand. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Dojo, where we show you what we teach, we show you what advanced martial arts are supposed to look like, and how to get there. And today with me, I have a very special student and guest. Her name is Lauren Kelso, and she's just been promoted to black belt. And how long have you been coming here, Lauren?
Around 10 years now. Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment. Most people quit before then. It doesn't take everybody 10 years. She took a couple of detours. She's got 2 kids, so, naturally there's times you can't come. But she's worked really hard and always came back to it, always stuck with it, never once dropped out, never once said, I don't want to do it. And she made it, man. She's very good. I'm incredibly proud of her. So she wants to ask a question, and she said there was something else she wanted to say, but she wouldn't exactly tell me what it was. So let's find out what it is. So thanks for coming, Lauren. First, tell us that big thing you want to say, and then ask me the question that you wanted to get covered today.
Well, Koshi, I wanted to say that I'm really enjoying class here at Dharma Way Dojo.
Oh,
and
great.
And I'm really interested in learning about Chuan.
Okay, great. So we do work on those 5 archetypes, and she's been practicing one of these archetypes that I've been teaching her. Now, she went the karate route, so I teach blocks and counters in Okinawan karate, but also I relate them very heavily to Xingyi. So she's just really started the more internal aspect of the martial arts, which I think is the most advanced aspect. And Chuan simply means chopping fist or splitting fist. So, hey, thanks for your endorsement. We appreciate it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, because there's another thing I want to say, and this is a question we're answering from somebody I really respect, Hanshu Westcraft of Jonesboro, Arkansas, who asked me to make a video about the 5 different levels of self-defense I teach. So you can come here and learn karate, bagua, tai chi, xingyi. But if you don't want to learn a formal martial art necessarily, we give instruction purely in self-defense, but you still need some form. But the minimum forms you need are 5, because in Chinese martial arts, these 5 elements really run through a lot of disciplines, very endemic to Chinese culture. So she's asking about splitting fist, but from splitting fist you can go to drilling fist, to pounding fist, to exploding fist, crossing fist. Okay, so I'll show you what those 5 levels will look like, and what Wes is asking me is what separates each level. Okay, so what is basic? No. What is second basic? No. What is intermediate? No. What is advanced? No. So I'll try to show you through showing you the mistakes that people make in absolutely one simple movement. And it's not as simple as you think. When we're talking about Chuan, you know the art, right? So what I want you to do is just step back a step or 2 and do Chuan for me right now. Let me see it. All right. When you're doing Chuan, the goal is to make this stretch through your body and turn the stretch and bend what wants to be bent. So the real trick from a basic point of view, and that didn't look bad, but what happens is a lot of students, when they're first learning, they get up on their leg. The goal here is not to get up on the leg. By that I mean this way. The goal is to step out this way, turn the torso, let the knee bend, but no further than the toe, and drive your center right here, your dantian, into this kwa. Then release the spine and the shoulders. Because you're doing a stretch as you turn one way, and you're allowing that stretch to run into you as you turn this way. So this leg right here has to coordinate with this upper arm. This kwa, or inguinal crease, has to coordinate with the opposite shoulder crease, right inside the shoulder. so that you have a balanced view, so that this leg right here operates this shoulder, or this hip operates this shoulder. This inguinal crease, called a qua in Chinese, operates within this acupuncture point called Jiana Ling. It's an extra acupuncture point here. But it's really just this shoulder crease. So you can see that one's like this and one's like this. So when I step out, instead of coming up, I go down. I tuck the tailbone like it's going into the heel. Once that happens, that's going to start to move my body forward and my spine forward and my shoulders are going to rotate. As soon as I feel that happen and I start to come back, because what goes out has to come back, so you've got to tell your mind to get really loose. You're going to step into that. You see, I'm not going up like this. I'm coming into it this way. As I do, my shoulders rotate. When they rotate, and this goes as far as it can go, then I'm going to turn it, bend the qua, bend the knee, let the knee come straight, and it's going to throw this shoulder forward. A move that stays hard. Because if you do this, you lock up muscles in your back. Your goal is to run your body this way, into the leg. Because what you're doing is you're using gravity to move your joints in a way that's harmonized. So that one shoulder's not moving and one shoulder is moving. Or that one hip's moving and the other hip's not moving. So one of the biggest problems students have to overcome, especially in the first 2 levels of your self-defense program, is I need to stop moving one body part at a time. Okay? Yeah. That's where it really gets down to. Does that make sense? Yes. So that you have to let go within your mind. This is how mind-body integration starts. Because you condition your response, what you decide to do, when you get told by your body to do it. So a good teacher will be able to tell you what to look for or feel for, not to look for, but what to feel for in your body as you do certain movements. Because the goal is to smoothly and fluidly emit power. So the structure has to be correct. That's why in Xingyi a lot of times they'll be so strict about how you do Santishi, which is the standing method of Xingyi, where you have like 70-30. You can see right through here, through large intestine 20 to large intestine 20 to large intestine 1, because Chuan belongs to the metal element, which in Chinese medicine fortify the lungs and the large intestine channel. So I know it gets pretty complex, but I have actually prescribed various Xingyi Qigong to help patients even in the clinic. So as we step forward, everything has to spiral. People don't realize that Xingyi has a spiral. It looks so straightforward, but it's not straightforward. It's a spiral into a shape. Okay? Spiral into a shape. So I'm going to step forward here and I'll do it again. hunched over too much, because all the talk about your dantian, the crown of your head, all of this stuff is designed to just make you keep a balanced structure throughout the whole movement. So in Xingyi, that means mind, form, boxing. Yi means intent. Xing is the form or shape of something. So I'm taking a spiral, running it through my body, and making a shape out of it. So it's not as hard as it seems. It's just hard to get that feeling in your mind and stop thinking it. You see what I'm saying? So don't think it. So quick review. Step out probably about, depends on you, wider than your shoulders, but not so wide that it's a strain. So what can you comfortably step out doing? Go down a little bit, put an angle in this thigh and knee, and drive this knee here. That's good enough. That's probably far enough for me. That may be far enough for you. The trick also is to not do what you're about to do, which is turn this foot out too much or get it too far away from this leg. So what is the correct? So turn this foot in a little bit, but that don't mean bring it up. Turn it in. There you go. Now, the problem you're having is you need to bring the foot out just a little so that, come on, bring it out a little more. A little more. That's it. Now turn this toe in slightly. There you go. This toe right here, if it drew a straight line through there, would stop at that heel. Okay? So that turn this way now and put your foot out like this. Your other foot. Put it right out further here, like you're stepping out. There you go. Now, let's look, see here if we got it. What we got here is this foot is turned too far outward, so we want to pull that in a little bit. And we want to push the foot forward just a little bit, right to my foot, to come forward. There you go. Because what we want to have is from the toe right here to the heel is a line or about that much difference. That's all. But you don't want to be stepped out like this. So watch my feet right here. You're right there. So you see where this, so sometimes when you need to work on it, put your back heel next to that toe and bring it straight back and then out just that much. And you'll feel that's very comfortable. So you get real comfortable with it. Watch when I step. I drive this, turn it, and it doesn't go up in the air. It's just going to release this back leg. So this one doesn't need to do this wobbly. You need to put this over the toe and leave it there, because that's what you're going to rotate on. See? So you come out, it flips my shoulders this way. That's what will give you this left leg, right hand forward. It's not that I don't come out even, but when I turn, you can see them change. Then they're going to change again, because as the torso ran this way, it ran into a stop. It could tell it can't go any further. It's run into the leg this way. It's run into the heel with the tailbone, because I've tucked the tailbone and it spun me. And as it spins me that way, I spin back. Then I let this quad right here operate this shoulder, and this quad operate this shoulder. So that if I step straight out, it's like that. In advancing this further and further and further, and being able to go between all the movements and extrapolate movements from each one. Now, I'm going to, in just a moment, I'll show you how that's done. So, but first I want to say, we'll stop this first part of the video, and we'll have a part two. I want to thank Lauren for coming. I want to thank you for your endorsement, and I want to thank you for being a student. You've done such a great job and a great question. I hope that helps you.
Helps me a lot. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We'll see you again when? Inside the dojo.